Hello and welcome to the Blue and Silver Breakdown. I'm Eric Gonzalez.
And I'm Kyla Moore.
And today we have quite a bit to cover. Our games of the week were...
Boys soccer and then girls swim.
So I guess we can start it off with the soccer game. Oswego East was home against OHS. It was a crosstown game. Going into this game, it looked to be interesting. Obviously, crosstown's always an interesting game. You can't ever really say who's going to win it from the start. It's just
A guessing game.
yeah, because I feel like records don't really matter when you go into it's a game with a lot of passion. It's a game with a lot, that means a lot to all the players. You play with the players in the other team as well. Like, you know them. They're your neighbors, right? So going into it looked like it was to be an exciting game. First half started, and OHS, they really controlled possession. They couldn't quite break into the box. I thought that OE's backline was doing a pretty solid job. You have Ryan Brandt out there in the right back position. He was doing pretty solid all night. Later on that game, you had Cameron Hens come in at center back. But really, overall, I feel like the backline is probably one of the better parts of OE's soccer team. I feel like, at least they're a bit harder to break down. So, Vilius Adesikas for OHS, senior this year, he had a half volley, which is, when the ball bounces once before a player shoots it. He hits a half volley into the top right corner, and he was outside the box, probably 20 yards out. He just puts his laces through it, obviously he finds the top right corner. Carter Lucas, he's a great goalkeeper. He made a great dive, great effort for it, but there's not really, I don't think there's any keepers in the area that are going to get to that one. You saw it,
yeah,
it was
too high.
It was a really nice finish. So that was 1-0 on the 20th minute. And after conceding, OE they were definitely starting to impose themselves a bit more. I feel like they were really pushing for it more. They got a couple of attacking chances. Julian Nino, he had a lot of opportunities. He likes to cut in he really likes to cut in on his left foot and try and find a curling shot. And you saw him tried a few times at least during the game. Got a couple of really, really close. I remember one just barely came up over the top of the crossbar. But overall, they didn't look terrible that first half. But again, OHS, they remained composed in midfield. Just couldn't break through that back line. And before the half was over, you saw OE sort of some sort of defect to that over the top, that long ball. First
Definitely
half.
saw them try to get a couple goals in the first half.
And that really is the best time to score. At least that's what I think. The best time to score is right before halftime. It gives you the momentum. It gives you, that change or what might be needed. But OE just couldn't find the back of the net. And first half was over. It was 1-0 OHS at this point.
Yes, and then we went straight into the second half. It was a little bit slow in the beginning. It was a lot of fighting over the ball. You didn't really know who was going to get what. Until number 20 on the Oswego's team got a shot from long range, around 25 yards out, straight into the net. That was really impressive to see.
Yeah, I think it really caught everyone off by surprise. They just I remember I was sitting there. I didn't expect him to shoot, but it was the right option for him clearly. Shot from 25 yards out, just absolutely smashes it. It kisses the underside of the crossbar and finds the back of the net.
OE, not only the players but also the stands seemed a little defeated after that because it was really shocking. Nobody thought that was going to happen. And then still, OE just couldn't really break through. Their teamwork was a little off, I feel like. It was very every man for himself.
I would agree. It felt like the passing was just a bit disjointed. And this sort of leads into one of the points about this varsity team this year is that you have a smaller core of seniors that haven't played with a lot of these the juniors and sophomores, right? Really, because this sophomore juniors right now, at least a good solid core of them, at least a few that I know, have been playing together since middle school or even before that. So same with the seniors. It just feels like it's two different groups.
Feels like there's two different teams, and we're trying to like put them together.
And it's something that can develop as we get deeper into the season, into the last few weeks of the season here. So there's room to improve, but there's also time to improve. I feel like as we get into the run-in, if you pick up a couple of victories here and there, and in the crucial times against the right opponents, really, you can find yourself into that playoff spot. You had 12 seniors graduate last year, as compared to the 8 seniors that are left this year, and
the seniors really made a really made a big difference on the team.
I would agree, yeah. You lose your you lose a couple of big mainstays in there.
I feel like that's across all sports, though.
And it's just about how you bounce back from that, how you really how you grow. I do think, I do believe that this varsity team will be a force to be reckoned with in the next few years as well. But just got to finish out the season, right? Hope for a couple of wins on the bounce here, and yeah.
I definitely think that the more that they grow, the closer that they'll become.
I agree. Alrighty, so that just about does it for the OHS versus OE game. Now, Kyla Moore, you covered the swim team.
I did.
So, if you would like to go
I
into
ended
that.
up interviewing Katie Malm. She did the 6 dive event on Tuesday, which was insane to watch. She said that she felt really confident going into this meet. She said that she felt like one of her biggest goals was to break her own record, but she ended up breaking not only her own record, but also the men's record, which was held for a while before that. For preparing for this meet, she normally eats, just make sure that she's not under a lot of stress. She makes sure that she really warms up and stretches so that she can actually do the impressive dives that she did. She also said her team was a big motivation to her victory. If you're there, you could see how close the team is, not only with each other, but also with the parents that are in the stands and the people that come to watch. It's a very uplifting environment that they are in. So I feel like losing isn't really an option when you have that much motivation and support from not only your teammates, but also parents and other parents' teammates. And the sportsmanship between both the teams that were competing were amazing. There was nobody trying to knock somebody off balance. It was really interesting to watch.
I feel like you do want to see I feel like towards those more individual sports, you see a lot more people wanting others to succeed, and I know when I used to do swim, that was sort of the environment that you were around, and that it's special, right? Your individual achievements are very celebrated, and I think that's an incredible feat. I know, obviously, new record for Oswego East, which is incredible. New personal record for her. Hopefully, might even see her break it again sometime through the rest of the swim season. And then finally, we have our other scores around Oswego East. On the topic of women's swim, they recently were at the Downers Grove South Swim and Dive Invitational, where they took it all home. They have a photo with the plaque, and the plaque will be in the trophy case.
Yes, it will. Girls golf, it's more. What I learned from girls golf is it's more individualized, which is really cool. There's a team placement and then individualized placement. Allie placed first by 11 strokes, which is insane.
11 strokes. That's dominant. That's all I have to say about those. That is just domination on the green. Girls flag football lost 28-7, and boys varsity football dropped their game to Bolingbrook 32-7. So they'll look to bounce back before the homecoming game this Friday.
I feel like both of those were really disappointing, especially our girls flag football team has been on a roll. So hearing them lose is just a little. I would love to see how they get back.
Yeah, I believe it's one of their only losses this season. You wonder how they'll bounce back, right? Because, you have some teams that'll face this kind of adversity, and you see, either they'll show a lot more determination, they'll get stuck in, they'll, find a way to win the next one, right? You see them continue their dominance, or B, you have teams that will fall off, like their form will fall off after their first loss. So it's something that's going to be interesting to see. I'm definitely, I do want to attend at least one more game before the season is over.
Their crosstown is coming up. Their crosstown's actually today.
Crosstown's today.
Yes, it is.
Crosstown's today. I think we're covering that for Game of the Week next week as well. A little foreshadowing.
Boys golf also had their game. Zach Johnson got the MVP with an overall of 69. I know that he is like a great golfer. Like, you always hear his name when it comes up with golf, and his scores definitely match.
Our boys golf is, I want to say they were
SBG.
Yeah,
SBG
champions in
so
the conference.
Same with the girls.
The girls champions.
Yeah.
There you go.
They also won conference, which is insane. I saw that. Yeah.
I wonder when state is. I'll have to do some research on that. So
Yeah.
we will have to cover that.
Yeah.
All right, I have the opportunity here with Aaron Godinez to interview you. So obviously the crosstown game didn't go the way you guys wanted it to.
Yeah.
But what were some key takeaways that you and your team learned from it, really?
Honestly, from that game, the biggest takeaway that we got from it is like us not coming into a game like thinking we're gonna win, or like thinking that like it's gonna be easy. That game we came in like looking at records, looking at stuff, and that caused us to play the game that we played, which wasn't good, which caused us to lose 2-0. But at the end of the day, I feel like from what we took from that was that like we need to come in strong for every game, especially for the last few games of our season to get a good seeding. We want to come in, win those games, so then we can actually get a good seeding for regionals.
Yeah. So honestly, you really touched on my next question, which was, what was the mindset heading to the next match against Joliet West?
It was definitely fixing up those little things that we like didn't do good in the game, which was like pressing to the ball, being first to every ball, wanting to like literally just win. For Joliet West, I feel like we did all of that, and at the end of the day, it caused us to get that 4-0 win.
Yeah. So, and then did the coach make any changes in formation or style, or was it more so a mental change that needed to be
I
done?
think it was more of the mental change. He had a talk with us before the match, just really getting our heads into the game, making sure we're locked in. And I feel like that talk really touched us. It caused us to play the game that we played in.
Yeah. So, Oswego East plays Mattia at home on Saturday. It's senior night. It's homecoming. So how are you and your fellow seniors, feeling for that one?
We're actually really excited about that. We've been talking about senior night for a while. I mean, especially for us, it's our last go at it. So, I mean, we kind of just want to make the most of it and have a good time.
Yeah. And finally, you have 6 games left of the regular season.
Yeah.
What's the focus? What's the focus now for the rest of the season?
Just win those games. I mean, if we don't, it's going to put us in a really rough position, especially for regionals. But if we do end up winning and do end up doing good, then it's going to be looking really nice for us in regionals.
All right, well, thank you so much, Aaron. I appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's edition of the Blue and Silver Breakdown.
Make sure you tune in next week for the Howling Hour.
Thank you so much.